Hello, welcome to Grapefully Yours live podcast. Well, it's our wine show, okay? And I'm Jim Campanini, my co-host, the wine butler, Mike Pigeon. We have a special show for you today. This is the week of the 149th running of the Kentucky Derby. The best three-year-old thoroughbreds in America will be running for the roses. And the people who go to the raceway is drinking a lot of mint juleps. But every year is my custom, okay? We're going to run for the rosés.
Run for the rosés. Good wine.
It's rosé sipping time, and we've got a nice selection. Mike and I went up to the Wine Connection over the weekend. We selected some different styles and different varieties of these beautiful summer sipping wines that have now become all year round wines. They're just not for pool parties and drinking around the house, easy drinking at night. No, these wines have become bestsellers, and winemakers are making them a little more structured, a little more complex, and they go with a whole range of foods. And you could drink these wines year round. I do. Do you like rosé?
I like them, but I stick with my reds or whites. It's a nice little drink.
Well, it's a nice change to get that palate revived. You know, they're light and airy, but they have a lot of character and a lot of taste. And the other thing with today's show, we're also going to talk about the Kentucky Derby. As you can see, this year is the 50th anniversary of the Great Secretariat's Triple Crown victory in 1973 that started with the Kentucky Derby. So this hat, I purchased this hat in 1990 at Saratoga, where I go every year with friends. And I've saved it. You can see it's a little beat up. I only take it out now once a year when I go to the Saratoga. But I wore it today. And I've got a list of names with all my college fraternity brothers who've been going for years with me to the track, and also special guests and friends. One of them is Ricardo Rock, that used to own Ricardo's in downtown Lowell. John Cox, a good friend. My twin brother, John Campanini. Tom Shawnia, Doc LaFazia. So we're going to talk a little about the Kentucky Derby, and Secretariat was a great horse. There's a great museum up at Saratoga, the Horse Racing Museum. A huge statue, life-size replica of Secretariat is up out front. You can go up there, you can see all his races and everything else. A beautiful trip. So there's the hat. I don't want to overdo it. I'm going to put it right over here. So let's start, Mike.
Post time. It's post time.
It's post time. So, what do you think about rosé wines?
Well, the first time I saw them, it's a pretty wine. It makes me think I'm drinking like a Cremant or a Champagne or something like that. It's a ritzy looking wine with the color, something you weren't quite used to. But I don't like the sweet ones, as I don't like any type of sweet wine. But they have the dries, and it's a nice little drink. You know.
And a lot of wedding parties now, weddings, you see them served at weddings because they have such beautiful, elegant bottles. They come in crystal bottles. They're very nice to look on the table. They become not only a special occasion wine, but a lot of celebrations and stuff, and they're easy to drink. Or aperitifs. You welcome someone to your home. You pour a nice easy drinking rosé. They have most of them are fermented dry, especially the ones from southern France, Provence, where they make the best rosés in the world. I mean, they can cost from $12 a bottle up to $200 a bottle. It all comes with the process and where the grapes are. So the other thing about rosés, they used to be typically southern France grapes, Grenache, Syrah, and salt. But now, they're making these grapes, they're making these wines with indigenous grapes from all countries. I mean, there's Sangiovese rosés from Italy. We've got one from Spain here with Tempranillo, which is a great grape. The Americans, Whispering Angel. You've got, they make it with, what do they make this with? Syrah. So you're all across the board with this, and they give it rich character.
People used to drink that white Zinfandel, which I never liked.
Yeah.
Now, was that a beginning of rosé?
That was the beginning of it, and it really was a hit at the beginning, but the quality was low.
Oh, very
and then
low.
it just hit the dregs, and people were afraid of it for a long time,
But they
and then,
perfected the rosés every
Yes,
year. They're just a
perfected
little
the
nicer and
rosés.
smarter. Yeah.
So the first one we have here is something different because you very rarely see a 100% varietal rosé, okay? They're usually a cuvée, a blend of different grapes. But this one, the Villa Wolf, okay, this is from Germany, the Rhine River Valley. This is 100% Pinot Noir. Now, as we said in last week's show, the higher the alcohol level,
Lower the sugar,
okay. So the lower the alcohol level,
the higher the sugar.
okay. So this is 11.5% alcohol, and most rosés are between 12.5 and 13%. So it's not that there's a whole lot of residual sugar in here, but it's going to be off dry. It's going to be a little fruity, and so I opened this up last night. My wife and I had salmon, and this was fantastic with it. The salmon was great with asparagus, the bitter asparagus. You contrast foods and tastes and stuff. And as you can see, we drank half of this bottle. Okay, we had fun with it. And like I said, most rosés are dry, but this was a little different. And someone who like me and Mike who like dry rinds, you could take straight off the bat. Oh wow, it's fruity.
It's very nice, though.
Very nice.
Not sugary to me.
No, it's got it
Just
ends
enough.
dry,
Oh, that's very
but
good.
it's got that fruit, a lot of strawberry. Huh?
A lot of strawberry.
And we've
of-
got.
Speaking of strawberries,
Speaking of strawberries, look at these. This rosés are great with fruit salads. You go out for lunch or something, you have a fruit salad. You can also have, any kind of salad, but try it with a fruit salad. It'll knock your socks off and stuff. And so I'm just going to take a bite of this and try. Nice fresh strawberry.
That's a very tasty wine. Not sugary
Very
to me.
nice.
Not sugary.
And the best part about this wine, so we bought this at the Wine Connection over the weekend. Let me see, I get the price list here. Villa Pinot Noir, $11.99.
Wow.
And it's just got a great aromatics and red, that red berry fruit flavor. So very, very good.
Excellent.
You don't have to drink it all. Put one of these here. We can dump
If I
our.
take a bite of that, it'll be all down the front of me,
Well,
probably.
you can dump it in here if you want. Okay. So, and the other thing, it's got a screw cap. Easy to get in, easy to get out, and it stays fresh and everything. So that's one of our picks. Now, another one that I liked, and we're going to open. This is from Spain. Now, this has been on my annual rosé list for the top three years. The Spanish, like the French, are very good with their varietal grapes. And Tempranillo is one of the top grapes in Spain. It's also one of the top grapes in Argentina. A beautiful red grape when you drink it on your own. But this is an amazing wine. You can look at the labels. All done by a local artist in Spain. They're colorful.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Truth and Honor, Honoro Vera, Truth and honor, which we need. Maybe our politicians should be drinking this, you know. But this is a 2021 Rosado from Spain, and it's dry. I'm gonna try this, and it costs $10 a bottle. All right, and this is all organic. This is all organic grapes. Look at the difference in color.
Yeah.
Is that almost translucent?
Very
It looks a little, you know, it does look a little peach in there, but when you pour it in the glass, as you can see, it looks a little more pale.
For those people that have sworn off drinking alcohol, they could put that in a glass and no one would know. It just looks like a regular. It's so like. Does this have less sugar than the first one? I'd go for the first one, and me that doesn't like sugar probably likes the taste of it's a little bit in there.
It tastes like there's a little more residual sugar. It's a higher alcohol content, 12.5%.
Yeah.
But it's got that
nice-
mid palate.
Yeah.
It's got a little. It starts off fruity, almost goes a little mineral in the middle, right? And then it comes down again. It just ends dry, but it's got a little different taste than the other. The grape.
See, to me, those are great early afternoon, mid-afternoon drinks where they're just right to sit down with and have a little, like a wine cooler almost or something.
So this one perks up your palate, I think, a little more than that one. It's got a little
Something there. Yeah.
a burn finish. I don't know. It's but on the swallow, but it's still a nice wine, very smooth. So what is rosé compared to the still wines? Well, the French have and even the Spanish, but it came typically from the French. The Saignée method. I don't know if you can see that Saignée method, and that means the grapes are crushed. Okay, grapes are lightly pressed most of the time because they don't want the skin and the juice to contact like regular red wines. They don't want a whole lot of tannic and quality in these grapes. They don't want it to be harsh. So the grapes are lightly pressed, and then it ferments for anywhere from 2 hours to 2 days, and then the tanks are bled off. So it's called free-run juice. It's the early juice. So before that wine has even had a chance to settle or begin fermenting, it's bled off, and then the rosé, the Saignée, ferments on its own. Okay, and so in a lot of instances, you can say that's the true expression of the grape because nothing has been done with that grape. It's not seen any oak. It has not fermented yet. As opposed to regular fermentation of red wines, that could go for up to, from 3 weeks to 6 months. They can ferment them in tanks and put them in oak or whatever. So very few rosé wines are put into oak because they don't want to add anything, any of that oaky wood taste to it. Some are, and they're usually neutral oak, so they don't change that true expression. So, but that's called the Saignée method, which they also adopt sometimes in the use of champagnes. Okay, so there's one from Spain. Now this one, a lot of you people should know. It's taken over America. It's the #1 best-selling rosé to this day. And if you read my wine column that will be posted later about these wines, a Whispering Angel from Declans, okay? The first bottle of this was sold in America in 2007. It's from southern France, Whispering Angel. They only sold 800 cases that first year. Then it became a tour de force as people's palates changed. More Americans started looking for a light, easy drinking beverage, especially during the summers. Well, today, Whispering Angel sells 350,000 bottles in America alone. Okay, so and it just keeps getting better. It is a good wine. The prices when this first came out, you get this for $16 a bottle. Then it went up to about $25 a bottle. Now it's settled in. This was on sale at the Wine Connection for $21. But I've seen this go on sale. I mean, this was on sale at the New Hampshire liquor store for $18.99 last year. So you got to look at this, and sometimes Costco gets this too, Whispering Angel, and you get a good deal up there at Costco. But it remains a great. It's got a beautiful bottle.
Beautiful label.
And of course, it's got a cork in it, so you'll have to take the cork in. And let me just check that again. My price. Yeah, Whispering Angel Rosé. My tasting notes: cool, clean, and bright. The smooth pale pink rosé tingles the palate with strawberry and cherry flavors. A nice minerally dry finish begs another sip. So that's the #1 seller in America. Beautiful wine, and it'll go with most foods. This is one of my favorites. Gerard Bertrand is one of the best winemakers in the world. Another one from southern France. He makes premium wines, but he also has a great line of affordable wines. And this is Côte des Roses. Okay? We say Côte de Roses, all right? But this is a Grenache Cinsault Syrah-based blend. Very nice in color, beautiful bottle. The rose is here. You see the rose on the bottle. Another pale wine.
Very, very light colored wines. That'll show you.
Oh yeah, pale. They're getting more and more pale. They used to be pink. Yeah. All rosés used to be pink. Now they're trying to out-pale themselves. Get pale. They get so pale that they almost turn light blue. They get a tint blue to them.
And when you stop and think, what all your red wines would kind of look like that without the tannins in there. Without the skins.
I just love this. This is dry to the bone, right from the first sip. It's like the Mojave Desert, and then you taste that rose petal, that cherry.
Doesn't feel like a wine to me. It's so light.
Yeah.
Light.
It is. You could drink a couple bottles.
You could, but again, is in trouble. because it doesn't.
Head for the hammock. Head for the hammock.
It's such a light drinking wine. It's not sweet.
But it's packed with flavor.
It is.
And here's another one. $11 a bottle. No, I'm sorry. $11 a bottle, 13% alcohol. It's a dry rosé with a nice lingering finish. And the thing is, it has a glass cap. Now, I know some people complain about the glass cap, but this is easy to come off and put back, keeps it fresh. And I'll show you. Oops, be careful, Jimmy. See how easy it is? A lot of these bottles with glass caps, you fight with them to take them off. But Gerard has found the right mechanism for them. So that
makes me feel like maybe I should be drinking more rosés. That's a good, and for the price, I can't believe that they're inexpensive. I thought it was like that.
This one is the creme de la creme. You can tell it. You can look at it. It's a Burn from the Chateau Burn in southern France. And a beautiful bottle, Chateau Burn. Okay, it's 158. It's 350 acres of all organic vines, and it's in one of the most beautiful pots of southern France, in Provence. It has a 5-star hotel and restaurant on the grounds, 2 private villas. You can go there, visit. There's spas. But it is an elegant place. Naturally, this is an elegant dry rosé, and this costs $19.99. Now, what makes this interesting is that Burn puts out a rosé, 2 other rosés that cost over $100 a bottle. I've never tasted them, but I can't believe that they'd be much better than this for the money.
I was thinking that as you're saying it. Yeah. No,
and
I can't see that.
I've had this. It's for special events at my house. people just rave about it. Where did you get this? Where did you get it? And well, it's sold in most Massachusetts stores. It's available in New Hampshire. Once again, the Wine Connection had this. They're selling this for $19.99. It's called Burn Inspiration Rosé. Beautiful color, beautiful bottle, and it's made with all organic grapes. So you'll get it's power packed and lingering. So I've got a list of all these wines, what they their flavor profiles in my column that will be published later today. One last bottle I want to show you. This is a private label. This is one of my favorites, Julia's Dazzle. Look how light, translucent that is. This is from Long Shadow Vintners. Look for this bottle in the New Hampshire liquor stores later in the season. You usually get some from Washington State. This costs $20 a bottle. It's exceptional. You'll really love this. It's made from 100% Pinot Gris grapes. So you'll really, it's a different taste, but very dry and a lot of peach melon flavors. Julia's Dazzle. Okay. So now we've come to our part where we're going to make our Kentucky Derby picks.
I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Friend comes over the house and he loves a rosé. Would you like a glass of wine? I say, oh, I'd love a rosé. And you don't have any. Can you sneak into the kitchen, open a bottle of Chardonnay, dump a little out, and then just put a couple of tablespoons of Pinot Noir in there and invert the bottle, and now you've got a nice rosé?
It all depends who the friend is. If it's you, I'll try to get away with it.
Okay.
Okay. If it's anybody else, it's going to be hard. Because most of those Chardonnays anyway have a vanilla taste. They oak them, and even the ones in stain Chardonnay has just a distinctive taste, you know.
What Chablis?
But you should always have, for $10 a bottle. You should always have a couple of bottles around. They're great wines. Refresh the palate. Go outdoors, have a sip. So
those are the best tasting $10 wines you could ever get. At $12 wines, you don't get much for $12, but there's a value right there.
Yeah. So on Saturday at Kentucky Downs, 23-year-olds are going to go to the post, run 1.25 miles, and in this race that kicks off the Racing's Triple Crown. So as we promised last week, I'm going to give you 3 of my long shot picks. I've looked at this race, okay, and when I say that these horses have, for long shots, they have a possibility of winning the race, but they have a better chance of filling in second or third. You know, if a horse goes off at 20-30 to 1 and comes second, you could get $15 to $20 for a place bet. So why waste your money on the win bet? You know, a favorite wins, you're not going to get any return. So, so these are things to consider, and also in your exotic bets. So do you have any in particular that you like?
I do. I like one horse here. It's going off at 30 to 1, which isn't unreasonable. And the name of it is Lord Miles. And why I like that horse, it reminds me of a good friend of mine from Drake, Mike Miles.
Yeah.
And
it's a good horse.
He's finishing strong, and I hope this horse finishes strong. So I'll go with Lord Miles.
Okay. All right. I'm writing mine right on here now. Now, Todd Pletcher, a great trainer, it's a great U.S. trainer. He's got 3 horses in this race, including the favorite, Forte. Okay. And then he's got his 2 other horses. Regardless, all 3 of them combined have only lost 1 race out of a total of 12 races they've run. Okay, Forte has won 6 out of 7 races. Okay, the other two horses are 3-0, and they're both in there. But I'm going with, listed at 20 to 1, Larry Vivelli's horse, 2 Fills. This horse won his maiden race, and then every race since then, he's improved his pace and speed figures, and he won his last race with a 107 point pace setting. So I think 2 Fills can go this distance, and he'll be in there battling down the stretch. Who knows? He gets lucky, could win the race, but could be in the second or third place. And the other 30 to 1 is Disarm. another young thoroughbred that's been improving steadily with every race that it's run, and it's I think it's going to be in the hunt. So look at those two. Mike likes Lord Miles, which I had a little interest in Lord Miles. So when I first saw that, but we'll see how we do next week. When we do next week's show, we'll talk to you all about it. We hope you. We hope you cash a winning ticket. That race will go off at 6:57 Saturday afternoon. So you can go up to the Wine Connection on Saturday, which is going to have a free wine tasting of 20 international rosés. That's 1 to 4 on Saturday at the Wine Connection in Andover. Okay, so you go there 1 to 4, then go home, watch the race, get a couple of bottles of rosé, and have fun. Any closing thoughts?
No, let's see how our horses do, and next time we come on, we can either brag about it or hide our empty wallets.
Yes. So until next week, may the wine be with you.
TT, salute.